How can we achieve crypto mainstream adoption? And better yet, is crypto mainstream already? How exactly do we define mainstream? And if it's not, how can we make it adopted all around the world? Those are some of the questions we're going to try to answer on today's CoinMarketCap episode. My name is Kay, and here at CoinMarketCap, we are on a mission to make crypto accessible all around the world. That's why we love to make content for you that is packed with information, that is easy to understand and simple to share with your friends and family. So if you want more than just hype and actually learn about crypto, make sure to hit the subscribe button right now. Turn on this notification to not miss any future videos, and let's learn together. Crypto mainstream adoption. Disruptive technologies like electricity, cars, and TVs all travel the same road to mainstream adoption, a road that crypto seems to be traveling as well. The Wells Fargo Investment Institute recently reported that the rate at which people around the world are adopting crypto is remarkably similar to that of the internet. On top of it, now that governments worldwide are starting to regulate crypto, institutional investors who were previously not willing to invest are jumping in as well. Some suggest that crypto's 1.5 trillion growth last year means that adoption has either happened or that we're really close. And yet, despite all of this unstoppable progress, a lot of people haven't really warmed up to crypto. For now, it seems that it's mainly younger generations who are buying, while older generations are still sitting cautiously on the sidelines. I'm talking to you, Mom. But what does mainstream adoption actually mean? It's a difficult question and there's no agreed answer. But before we dive deeper, I want to ask you, what would it take for you to consider crypto to be mainstream? Is it the number of people using crypto? Would the majority of people around the world using crypto be enough to convince you that it's mainstream? And what is the majority? Is it 51% of all the people in the world? Well, if that's the case, then we have a long way to go.
It's a long way to the top.
Right now, Bitcoin has the same number of users as the internet had in 1997, only about 115 million, or roughly 1 in every 70 people on Earth. A study from Crypto.com estimates that nearly 300 million people own any crypto, including Bitcoin, which is a little bit better, and it's 1 in every 25 people. And 1 in 25 is a bit closer to most people, but it's still a long way to go. However, another recent report from Crypto.com projects that 1 billion people will be using crypto by the end of 2022. 1 billion users by the end of this year would actually be an incredible achievement for all of us as a community. But it still, once again, falls short from the 50% mark. But if we step back for a second and look back at our history, half of humanity might be actually too high of a benchmark, especially when you consider that the internet only reached this benchmark, over 50%, just in 2017. Even now, only 65% of all of us use the internet every day. In fact, when the Web 1 era ended and Facebook was making its start in the world at the end of 2005, only 16% of people worldwide had access to the internet. Yet most people would say the internet was already mainstream before then. So it might be that we need to set our bar a little bit lower. Maybe it's around that 15 or 16%. Maybe it's 20, just like in the Facebook days. If you're thinking to yourself, crypto adoption seems like a confusing subject, it is. Nobody has agreed on a specific metric. However, if we don't just focus on the number and instead look at what's happening around the world, there's some compelling arguments that we have already reached mainstream adoption. For instance, in September last year, El Salvador became the first country to officially make Bitcoin a legal tender. A short while later, a poll showed that 27% of US residents supported making Bitcoin a legal tender as well, and that 80% of younger people aged between 18 and 44 had a positive attitude towards Bitcoin. Institutional investors as well warmed up to crypto last year. A leaked memo from Goldman Sachs indicated that investment bank was running a crypto trading desk, and an analyst from JP Morgan told clients that crypto is set for much greater acceptance from mainstream investors and companies in 2022. Crypto's also been getting a lot of love in the business sector. You got Tesla, Microsoft, Whole Foods accepting crypto payments, and fintech companies like PayPal and Square have opened the door to floods of new retail investors. It seems that momentum is there, but still the number is important, and despite all these encouraging news, only 1 in 25 people use crypto so far, and crypto's global market cap is only slightly above that of Amazon's. So let's make this more actionable. Let's actually look at what's standing between crypto and a wider adoption. We all know that crypto has an incredible wide range of industry-specific use cases and definitely has the potential to make the world better and fairer, right? But before many of these industries can adopt crypto and before the world can adopt crypto as a whole, there are a few obstacles that we need to overcome. Number 1, education. Right now, there aren't as many people around the world that understand crypto. And until people understand crypto and how it might be beneficial to them, they're not going to use it to its full potential. And while here at CoinMarketCap, we're doing our best to educate everybody about why crypto is the best thing since sliced bread, there's no getting around the fact that educating everybody is going to take a while. But we're doing our best. But there is also reason to be cautiously optimistic. For example, both New York University and Stanford are now offering college courses in crypto, so are European universities as well, all of which might inspire the next generation of crypto pioneers. Of course, politicians, governments, and regulators desperately need to learn about crypto as well, which was one of the biggest reasons that is standing between crypto and mainstream adoption. Yet, when we consider that 6 members of the US Congress bought and sold crypto last year, and that Congress had a crash course on crypto in December, it's possible that by the end of 2022, that governments and regulators could become a smaller obstacle for crypto adoption. And now that Gary Gensler, who previously taught courses in crypto at MIT, is the chair of the Securities and Exchange Commission in the United States, we have good reason to believe that favorable crypto regulations are coming our way any day now. So let's stay optimistic, but also realistic. Number 2, accessibility. Once people understand Bitcoin, blockchains, NFTs, and everything crypto, they're still not going to use dApps, DeFi, unless the services are easily accessible. What do I mean by accessible? I mean easy to use, affordable, and without too much technical lingo. A good litmus test is if your aunt or your 6-year-old nephew are able to use a dApp, then it's accessible. Because the more people use crypto, the more money there's in crypto, and the more people and money are involved in crypto, the more institutional investors will incline to invest. The more money institutional investors put into crypto, the faster dApps and services grow, and the faster the world adopts to crypto. Do your part and make it more accessible. Number 3, interoperability. As I'm sure you're already aware by now, cryptocurrencies run on blockchains. One of the big drawbacks of today's blockchains is that they struggle to talk to one another. If the web or the world is ever to run on blockchains, those blockchains have to be able to exchange assets and information between one another, which is called interoperability. Interoperable blockchains like Cosmos and Polkadot have come on leaps and bounds in the past year, so we're expecting to see more networks like that soon. And when we get there, fully interoperable blockchains will allow developers to create powerful new services and apps which are capable of things we can't even imagine right now. In fact, trying to imagine today what crypto platforms and blockchains will be capable of in 10 or 20 years is like one of the first computer engineers trying to predict Netflix, TikTok, or even crypto itself. Number 4, infrastructure. Why did it take decades for the car to overtake the horses as the transport of choice? Simply because the infrastructure, that is roads that were good enough to drive on, didn't exist. And right now, crypto is suffering from the same problem. If crypto is ever going to scale, which needs in order to replace some of sector's traditional finance, we need a lot of infrastructure. Think back to the early internet, which ran on the phone lines. It took 10 minutes to send a low resolution JPEG, you know what I'm talking about. And that was if you didn't run out of data. Whereas now you can have Netflix, Fortnite, and 50 other tabs on Chrome open while you're simultaneously sipping your latte.
This is how we do it.
So So what made this possible? Solid, dependable, and scalable infrastructure. As time goes on and demand for crypto builds, more and more money will inevitably go towards infrastructure. And just like increased demand for the internet saw national upgrades on copper wiring and then fiber networks, increased demand on crypto will lead to more and better infrastructure. We just have to be patient and keep on building. Number 5, volatility. People love a get-rich scheme, but they also don't like losing money. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of the other crypto still seems like unnecessarily risky investment. Because when you compare cryptocurrencies to stocks, bonds, and saving accounts, crypto is and is probably going to stay for a while longer an unpredictable asset class. Still, you could probably argue that Bitcoin is only marginally less stable than any other stock. Take Facebook, for example. The tech giant, once worth nearly $1 trillion, just saw its stock plummet by 26% in just one day and is down nearly 44% since last September. During the same period, Bitcoin actually went up a few percentage points. But in all fairness, Bitcoin had a much bumpier ride than Facebook up until now. Why? Because Bitcoin price is based on supply and demand, how many coins are currently in circulation, and how much buyers are willing to pay for those coins. Now, apart from the supply and demand, mainstream media outlets and crypto influencers still have a big hold on the price. Take Elon Musk, for example, who with a single tweet can send Bitcoin's price spiraling out of control, either up or down. But rest assured that this problem won't be around forever, or at least crypto probably won't be as volatile as it is right now in 10 years' time. Because as crypto market cap grows, the influence any one person or media site has over crypto will diminish. We just need to be patient. Now, to wrap it all up, if you're wondering where crypto is right now to where it's going to be 10 years from now, I want you to step back for a second and think about the original Apple App Store. Remember all of those funky and weird apps, like you had a candle that you could blow out on your phone, or you could play with a lightsaber? And back then, you did have some practical apps. But I think you would agree with me that nobody would have imagined that in 2022, you could run a multi-million-dollar business using logistic apps, banking apps, accounting apps, and be successful. And that's what we consider crypto to be right now. Don't worry if it's mainstream yet or not. There's still a lot to build, still a lot to create. There's so much more to do. So join us, let's start creating together, and let's get it adopted all around the world.